Hola amigos, I'm Maria Elizabeth Cho, a relationship coach who supports couples to come back from the edge of hopelessness into passionate connection and intimacy. As we're coming up on a time of year that I love and get excited, I wanted to share a little about the tradition and celebration of Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, which is native to my home country, Mexico, and also share with you how this powerful Mexican tradition can teach us beautiful lessons about love and relationships. For those of you who don't have familiarity with this celebration, the Day of the Dead, or Dia de los Muertos, has roots in ancient Aztec, Mayan, and Toltec beliefs, where death was seen as a part of life's cycle and the dead were remembered through annual celebrations. Spanish influence later blended these customs with Catholic practices, creating the holiday we see today. It is celebrated on November 1st and 2nd, and this idea also appears in Eastern philosophies and religions, where honoring ancestors is believed to renew family and cultural ties, allowing for a spiritual continuation that brings wisdom and strength to the living. In Mexico, families honor their deceased by creating vibrant altars or ofrendas that are decorated with marigolds, candles, favorite foods, and photos to guide their loved ones' spirits back for a night of connection, remembrance, and celebration. You also find the cemeteries adorned with flowers and elaborated decorated this time of year. Every region differs slightly in their traditions. Growing up with this tradition in Mexico, I saw Dia de los Muertos as a beautiful time to feel the presence of loved ones. Even living abroad in Qatar, I've kept the tradition alive, sharing it with my daughter, who now sees it as part of her identity too. A couple of years back, despite our busy schedules in her exams and me with my work, we pulled together our Katrina costumes in just 30 minutes, racing to the local embassy celebration. And we managed to win first prize in the costume contest. A little victory that made us feel close to home, even halfway across the world. For many of us, Dia de los Muertos isn't just a time to remember the deceased. It's about embracing death as part of life. And we believe in honoring and connecting with those who've passed, celebrating their lives, and in a way inviting them back into our world for a day. It's a deeply spiritual practice that brings comfort, joy, and even a sense of rebirth to our families. And while it may look like a day of mourn, it's actually about reconnecting, letting go, and celebrating the beauty of relationships that outlast the physical presence. Think about this in the context of your own relationships. Just like how we honor and let go of those who have passed on, in relationships, sometimes parts of ourselves could be old habits, past versions of our relationship, even past hurts. These need to be released for new life to emerge. Let's make a theme from Dia de los Muertos that I find so powerful: rebirth through remembrance. In my own life, I see this every time I let go of an old wound or something that I have outgrown in a relationship. Releasing it with love and honoring where it came from allows us to step into a new phase together. Just like when we honor our loved ones and invite them to become part of our lives in a fresh way. Consider this: every relationship goes through cycles of life, death, and rebirth. The Day of the Dead teaches us that we don't have to be afraid of these transitions. Instead, we can welcome them as opportunities to deepen our connection and understanding. Just like the loved ones we honor, sometimes we can invite an old version of our relationship back into our lives. Maybe it's the early romance, or the playfulness from when you first met. Reconnect with that spirit and let it breathe life into your relationship today. And when it comes to grief, yes, sometimes relationships come with their own kinds of grief, like past misunderstandings, hurt, lost time. But Dia de los Muertos reminds us not to carry that forever. We create space for it, we honor it, and then, like a candle burning down, we release it so we can make way for a new beginning. This year, I will hold memories not only of those who have passed, but also of the parts of myself and my relationships that I'm ready to let go of with respect and reverence. I'm reflecting on the needs I met through these patterns, releasing them not with resentment, but with gratitude for their role in my growth. And I invite you to create your own altar for this reason, honoring your relationship's journey, reflecting on your early romance and how much has changed. Use this as an opportunity to honor your partner, past and present. You might gather meaningful items, favorite foods, drinks, or photos of your partner to place in the altar, as well as the parts of yourself and your relationship you're ready to let go through written words or symbolic objects. To give it a traditional touch, you can add flowers and candles to welcome peace and new beginning. If this is not possible for you, I invite you at the very least to embrace the spirit of this ritual by having a conversation with your partner with the idea of rebirth through remembrance. You can invite the spirit of earlier days or forgotten parts of your connection back through sharing forgotten stories with one another. Begin by telling one another your falling in love story. When did you know this was the one? Tell the stories of your children being born and significant trips you took together. Tell the story of introducing your spouse to your parents, your wedding. Tell about the special moments just between the two of you. So whether it's a tradition like setting up an altar or a personal practice like having a deep, heartfelt conversation, the message here is to let go and rebirth with intention. Remember that every part of your relationship, just like life and death, has a purpose. Honor what has been, release what you've outgrown, and welcome the new with open arms. Feliz Dia de los Muertos, my friends, and may your relationship flourish with these timeless lessons.